Republican colleagues to test the courts with this type of abortion bill versus what they say the intent is, and that's empowering young people.
Abortion rights supporters rallied in the Capitol yesterday in opposition to the bill. Former NFL star Antonio Brown is no longer under house arrest in South Florida. A Broward County judge yesterday granted Brown's request to remove his ankle monitor. He is facing charges for an alleged assault on a moving company truck driver at his home in Hollywood, Florida. And there's your Ocala Quick Minute News. WOCA The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM.
Florida Cancer Specialist Foundation provides critical living expenses for cancer patients undergoing treatment. You can support the foundation by attending Farm to Table 2020 on February 8th at Castlegate Farm in Ocala. For more information and to make reservations, visit fcsf.org/events. That's fcsf.org/events.
Ocala Magazine is the city magazine distributed throughout Ocala, Marion County, and the villages, providing award-winning coverage of important issues for almost 40 years. Hi, I'm Philip Glassman, publisher of Ocala Magazine. Ocala Magazine offers a platform for branding opportunities for your business or events while covering the latest in local lifestyle throughout print, digital, and social media. Listen every Friday at 10:30 a.m. on WOCA, The Source.
You just have to say it's a happy day. The old ticker hasn't been clicking and your kicker hasn't been kicking, but the hospital you can now leave. To rehab you can now cleave. The folks at Palm Garden you got to meet, you can tell their services cannot be beat. Working with nursing and therapy all day, you're gonna get better the Palm Garden way. Find out what the Palm Garden way means to you by taking a tour. We're located on the corner of Southwest 27th Avenue and 34th Street.
Each morning, we wake up thankful to live in a free nation with liberty and justice for all. But some...
Good morning. It's just gone 7 o'clock in the morning.
Welcome to AM Ocala Live on WOCA. And now, here's your morning host, Adam Micklin.
Good morning. You're listening to AM Ocala Live, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source. Your host, Adam Micklin. On this fine Wednesday, beautiful Wednesday morning. Every day's beautiful. How's everybody doing out there today? Good morning on this hump day Wednesday, as we're halfway, thank God, halfway through the work week. With the last week, full week of January, as we make our way into the second month of the new year, February, which I'm looking forward to. It's a leap year this year, so we'll have 29 days, which is kind of nuts. I don't know why it's nuts. It just is. Welcome, welcome. If you're listening out there, we've got kind of a light day scheduled. Not too much on the docket. At the top of the 8 o'clock hour, of course, giving a call to Galen and talking with them and finding out where the bloodmobile is, the blood supply, giving him a little bit of conversation. I'm gonna ask him a little bit more about the Super Bowl coming up. I want to talk a little bit more with him with sports today and everything. But after that, around the 9 o'clock hour, we're going to have some friends of mine from the Ocala Aviation Flight School from the airport come on over, and I'm going to have Brad and Dan in the studio to talk to them about what's been going on at the airport, what's been shaping up. We had in the studio yesterday Gainesville Airport with was it Aaron Porter and I always make sure I say his name right, Alan Penksa. We had them in talking about the Gainesville Airport and everything that they're doing with new additions to a terminal and how everything's been going with them to increase, or how they have increased the amount of volume for people flying out of Gainesville now with just the convenience and everything to fly easy. And then today we're going to be talking a little bit of the Ocala Airport, something more closer to home and what we got going on there. Nothing to the idea of commercial flying as far as airlines or anything like that, but just something that's in our community that's going to bring in a lot of business, that's going to have a lot going on out there as the next coming years too. So we'll be able to talk to them, figure out what's going on there overall, and just keep it light. Just keep it light. I think that's what we're going to try to do today. I think we always try to keep it light. I don't know. Flying solo again today here on this fine Wednesday. No Joe in the studio. He's taking care of business. And I always think to myself, I was like, well, Larry at least had Robin to bounce some stuff off. I got a mannequin back here in the room with sunglasses and a WOCA shirt on. I guess I can pretend to bounce things off of him. I guess you guys wouldn't know it either way because the camera's on me. But there's a little bit we're going to do at the 8:35 block for news bits, just a little bit of what's going on. It's funny as you get into this and you try to stay up with current events that you realize that a lot of news is a little bit repetitive, and everybody tries to find out new angles to some of the same stories, but really you're just ended up reading a lot of the same stuff, which is why Wednesdays and Thursdays is now what I'm learning to be something of a way to. I got in early this morning to try to prep, but it's a little bit harder. I got to make sure that we have a little bit more going on. So to give the listeners an idea of what to expect as we work into February and everything, we're going to be coming up with a little bit more segments and everything when we know we have days like this to get you guys looking forward to something. I was going to talk more about sports and stuff, but I want to get better organized with what I know I want to talk about with sports, stuff like that. So when we work into February, we're going to have some more to chew on, more stuff to look forward to and to put out there amongst what we'll have in the studio like we always do with our friends and sponsors who come in. But either way, welcome if you're listening to this fine Wednesday, like I said. And just a little update on the weather. It's absolutely beautiful as the sun's starting to come up now with a temperature that I was a little surprised. Now we're up to 42 degrees here in Ocala. As I got up this morning, it was 40, very, very chilly. But we should see a warm-up today near about 66 degrees with now an opportunity for looks like some showers and stuff here in the afternoon, mainly after 2 p.m., a 40% chance with a definite chance of 90% of showers tonight, which will bring us into tomorrow with a nice partly sunny day, a high of 70. So we can expect some rain tonight, which after talking with In the Garden with Carol Ann yesterday, this is the time of year that's usually our drier season. And with having at night the opportunity to get some rain in, that's always the best thing for all of our plants, your gardens, your trees, and all that good stuff. So a lot of people don't necessarily like the rain, but at the same time it is necessary. And if it's going to rain, why not doing it at night when it's, everybody's tucked in for the day. Anyway, I'm going to take a short little break here, and when we come back, we'll be talking a little bit of what's going on with some current events, and I'm gonna have the phone lines wide open as they can be for today. If you'd like to give us a call, just to say hello or to give us your opinion on something or news that you might have or anything like that, the number is 622-9622. Please call in. I'd like to get to know the listeners a little bit more. I've had some of the same callers call in, which I love to hear from them, but I'd like to hear from some of the others. If you're a little bit nervous about calling in, no worries at all. This is just an easy-going Wednesday. Don't have to rush anything. Make you feel comfortable on air. So give us a call, 622-9622. We're going to be taking a short little break, and then we'll be back after that. You're listening to AM Ocala Live on 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. Good morning.
Have you been there yet? If not, please accept this invitation to the best of the best Camellia Show Spectacular going on at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala. Just a walk, a short stroll through this magnificent garden is all you need to experience thousands of camellias in bursting bloom. Of course, you can have your own budded and blooming Bob Wine's heirloom camellia for as little as $19.99, and larger sizes are available. Other Camellia Show bargain Morgan buys gorgeous blooming Calancho, just $4.99. Laura Petalum, 6 for just $35.99. Peach and nectarine fruit trees, 2 for $99.99. Citrus trees, buy one, get one at half price. Don't miss it now at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens on the uncrowded southeast side of Ocala. Daily till 4, Saturdays till 3 in the same blooming place since 1952.
You just have to say it's a happy day. The old ticker hasn't been clicking and your kicker hasn't been kicking, but the hospital you can now leave. To rehab you can now cleave. The folks at Palm Garden you got to meet. You can tell their services cannot be beat. Working with nursing and therapy all day, you're gonna get better the Palm Garden way. Find out what the Palm Garden way means to you by taking a tour. We're located on the corner of Southwest 27th Avenue and 34th Street.
Today will be partly sunny with a passing shower for the afternoon, high 73 to 78. Evening showers, otherwise mostly cloudy for tonight, low 58 to 62. For tomorrow, it will be partly sunny. Thursday's high 73 to 77. Then tomorrow night, clouds will increase with a low 57 to 60. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Kevin Snyder.
And we're back. You're listening to AM Ocala Live on WOCA Ocala, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. Good morning, everybody out there on your way to work, on your way to school, on your way to drop the kids off at school, and all that good stuff. For anybody who's driving right now, just a re-mention of the road closures that are out there. If anybody's headed in this direction with the idea here due to railroad maintenance. Read this off yesterday just to give everybody a quick one here. Railroad crossing closures, Southwest Broadway Street and Southwest 3rd Street, Northeast 19th Avenue and Northeast 25th Avenue, and Northeast 9th Street. I think we mentioned yesterday for the Northeast 9th Street, what would be changing there for Northeast 19th Avenue and Northeast 25th Avenue. Southbound access will be detoured west on Northeast 24th Street and south on Northeast 8th Avenue. Northbound access will be detoured on Northeast 14th Street and north on Northeast 8th Avenue, and then east on Northeast 24th Street. As we make our way here through the beginnings of our show through this Wednesday, we got some public service announcements that I'd like to get out there for the morning. That way, if anybody who does listen in the morning, we do these usually later in the day, but I figure why not go ahead and give us a little bit of what's going on in the community right now as we work our way till the 8 o'clock to get a chance to talk to Galen. We had mentioned yesterday, I think it was either yesterday or the day before, about the National School Choice Week. With the National School Choice Week, it will commence. This is an opportunity offering families around the country for a chance to learn about and celebrate educational options. One of the interesting things is knowing that there is a lot of options out there for your kids to what to do for school. And in Florida, there are a variety of educational options available, including traditional public schools, charter schools, magnet schools, which I just learned about, private schools, online schools, and homeschooling. Florida's state-run scholarship programs extend to students and families with modest incomes, with individualized education plans. All of this stuff is being brought up with the week that will take place of January 26th through February 1st, which is pretty much going on now. And the idea of this is to put together a guide, a school guide here in Florida, to make it available for parents to understand what opportunities they have. As far as, like we said, for traditional schools, charter schools, magnet schools, which are permitted in all 50 states and have a specific focus on certain themes, such as math, science, and technology, and the performing arts. So with new beginnings here in January, the week will, it says here, January 26th through February 1st, 2020. And for more information on that, you can go to www.schoolchoiceweek.com, www.schoolchoiceweek.com for more information on that. Also, which will be getting started tomorrow, local to our community, the Ocala Civic Theater, January 30th, which is tomorrow, which will run January 30th through February 23rd, is Always Patsy Cline. We had Melody Murphy and Laura Bradford in the studio there last week to talk about the play here, Always Patsy Cline. It's a sentimental, song-packed tribute musical. It's a love letter to the legendary country music star Patsy Cline, played by Melody Murphy. And it's about her friendship with Louise Seeger, played by Laura Bradford, one of her greatest fans. Based on a true story that shows and explores the unlikely bond between two women who meet only once yet become close friends through their correspondence. It's heartfelt, hilarious, lots of music, which is great. The show features more than 24 of Patsy Cline's greatest hits, including Crazy, Sweet Dreams, Walking After Midnight, I Fall to Pieces, Faded Love, She's Got You, just to name a few. So that's January 30th through February 23rd, live on stage at the Ocala Civic Theater. Also happening this week, coming into Friday, January 31st, 2020, for all our veterans out there, which tomorrow, of course, being Thursday, we'll have our Veterans Hour. And Joe will be in for that to probably even promote this a little bit more for what they have going on for Friday, which is the Ocala Veterans Stand Down, January 30th, 2020, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., the Ocala Veterans Stand Down. If you're feeling, if you're not sure where to turn, unsure of your benefits for VA benefits, all veterans are invited for the services that will be provided. It'll be mental health and counseling, substance abuse counseling, education benefits and type programs that you can use your VA benefits for, Medicare, Medicaid assistance, end-of-life care and planning, personal items, even all the way down to something simple as haircuts and even health screenings. So that's for all of our veterans, Friday, January 31st, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. for our Veterans Stand Down. Also to mention, too, as we get ourselves into February, as we're working, like I say, on the last week of January, is getting into February is something pretty exciting coming up that we've been talking about quite a bit, is the Cattle Drive and Cowboy Roundup, which is Saturday, February 8th. In the Ocala, Florida Recreational and Parks Department will host the Cattle Drive and Cowboy Roundup event, Saturday, February 8th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Tuscaloosa Park, 500 Northeast Sanchez Avenue. This cattle drive will kick off the event in downtown Ocala, and it will end in Tuscaloosa Park, where the real festivities will begin. The cattle drive will begin at 9 a.m., and the cattle drive will begin near Jesse's Computers and Repair, which is located at 300 Southeast 8th Street. The cattle will come down Southeast 1st Avenue, cross Silver Springs Boulevard, and then turn towards the park, the Tuscaloosa Park, along Wauchula Avenue. The public is invited and encouraged to line the streets to watch the cattle pass by on their way to Tuscaloosa Park. The event will feature live entertainment by regional bluegrass band Brett Bass and the Melted Plectrum. Cowboy demonstrations will be held, authentic gunfighting, reenactments of the six-gun territory gunfighters, can-can dancing from the Palace Saloon Revenue Dancers, pony rides, mechanical bull rides. That one should be interesting, mechanical bull rides. That's just worth to see people do that in itself. Farm animal petting zoos, kids corral, kids corral with family and friends and games. It's not just throwing your kids in a corral and then just going and having your fun. It's a little different. With family friendly games, antique tractors and trailers, and more. There will be food vendors, including Big Lee's Barbecue, Chick-fil-A, as well as good old-fashioned kettle corn, cotton candy, and one of my favorites, funnel cakes. There'll be additional food and drinks, including adult beverages. Also be available for purchase at the event. This year's event will feature the first Marion Rotary Duck Derby. The Rotary Clubs of Marion County will raise 5,000 rubber duckies on Lake Tuscaloosa at 1 p.m. The fundraising activity will benefit the Discovery Center, a family science center providing an interactive educational experience which stimulates and desire to expand the personal knowledge. Duck adoptions are $5. The for one duck, or increase your chances. So for participating in the Duck Derby, there can be $5 for the purchase of one duck, or increase your chances by purchasing 6 ducks for $25, or a flock of ducks, 24 of them for $100. Cash prizes will be awarded for the first, second, and third place for the duck crossing the finish line. Ducks are available for adoption now at www.duckrace.com/Ocala. And will also be available, they'll also be available on site from 10 a.m. to approximately 12:45 p.m. General admission to this event is free. Free. I've been seeing the advertisements for the tax stuff here. Free. I could see one with a radio host sitting behind a mic just saying, "Good morning, free." Anyway, as we move on here with some other announcements, Ocala, Florida, Ocala Recreational and Parks Department, after just talking about the cattle roundup, the City of Ocala Recreational and Parks Department, in partnership with the CrossFit Iron Legion, will host an inaugural Grit Strength Challenge. February 22nd, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Fort King National Historic Landmark. That's at 3925 East Fort King Street. The Grit Challenge, for those of you who don't know, is a team-based strength and fitness challenge utilizing primitive objects that were available during the Florida Seminole War period. So for all of the interesting takes on something like an Ironman race, that's one's more popular that people train for and such. But there's also these gridiron races and stuff where you run through the mud and do all these certain obstacles and challenges and stuff like that, which is really grueling of such. These are along the same lines. However, you're going to be using objects that are available during the Florida Seminole War period. Teams of 3 participants will compete in some of the toughest, grittiest, and gnarliest. Each challenge is based on time period skills, practices, and challenges faced by soldiers and settlers dating back to the 1800s. That's pretty interesting. That's kind of neat what they thought of here with this. 50% of the proceeds of this event will go towards special projects and programming at the Fort King National Historic Landmark. You can learn more about the upcoming projects at fortkingocala.com. The event is open to the public, and there is no entry fee for spectators. Food, adult beverages, and merchandise will be available for purchase. To let anybody know about this earlier, I know it's February 22nd, which we'll see is about a month from now, but this is something that you might want to, if you're working on your New Year's resolutions still, more props to you. If you've given up on them, this might be an opportunity to kind of get off the couch a little, get back on the treadmill, and get ready for something interesting like this to grab it, friends, and enjoy that. So that's the Grit Strength Challenge at the Fort King National Historic Landmark. Looking at some of the other things we have going on within the community. One of the things that I've been talking about that is a little important that I see a little closer to myself is something interesting that they have going on. I've been hearing a lot around town here lately about not a whole lot of people have visited a dentist in a while. And with that being said, on the 14th of February, Valentine's Day, Smiles at Heathbrook are to host a free dentist day. And we're going to talk more about that. We're going to take a short little break as we come to the bottom of the hour here. We're going to talk some more public service announcements. The phone lines are open, 622-9622. Give us a call, and that way we can talk to the community, see what's going on, see what you guys think of these events, and pretty much go from there. So we'll come back. We'll talk a little bit of the dentist. We'll do more public service announcements and find out what's going on all together. You're listening to AM Ocala Live on WOCA Ocala, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source. Back after this.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. President Trump's impeachment trial in the Senate today moves to written questions from senators. Friday of votes expected on whether to hear from new witnesses, like former National Security Advisor John Bolton, who claims the president told him aid to Ukraine was contingent on the announcement of investigations into political opponents like Joe Biden. South Carolina Republican Lindsey Graham.
The president had every reason to want to look at the Bidens.
Oregon Democrat Ron Wyden says about calling Joe Biden's son Hunter to testify.
The last time I looked, Hunter Biden was not in the White House with the president.
They were both on Fox. President Trump at a rally in New Jersey with Democrat-turned-Republican Congressman Jeff Van Drew, an impeachment opponent.
He's a brave guy. He just said, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. It's a hoax. It's a scam. I'm not doing it.
The president signs a new trade deal with Canada and Mexico today. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, Greg, I'm so sorry to hear about your brother's heart attack.
Thanks. He's okay now, but it really got me thinking about my family. You know, could my wife still pay our mortgage if I had a heart problem? Or could my kids still go to college?
Man, that is really scary. Yeah, you should call my life insurance agent at Health IQ. When I got life insurance for my family last year, they saved me 41% versus any other company I looked at.
41%? That's huge.
Yep. Health IQ starts by shopping everyone with the top 30 life insurance carriers to make sure they can get the lowest retail rate. Then they apply their exclusive Healthy Lifestyle Savings, which can save you up to 41%. I literally got $1 million in coverage for my family for just $36 a month.
Just $36 a month?
Yep. You should check it out at healthiq.com/easy.
To save that much money, I'm going to call them right now. What's that link again? healthiq.com/easy?
Yep. healthiq.com/easy.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Ah, the joys of flying from a major hub.
Come on, guys, we gotta go.
Wait, honey, but our flight doesn't leave for 5 hours.
I know, but traffic could be bad. Then there's trying to find a parking spot, then the mile walk to check in, and of course security could take a while.
Skip the circus and fly regional. From parking to boarding and everything in between. It's just better.
Gainesville Regional Airport, now boarding with over 343 destinations in one stop. Non-stop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, Atlanta, Charlotte, and Miami. Fly with us. You'll be glad you did. For more information, visit flygainesville.com.
Jean Powell, Past Chamoy. Jean and Debbie thank you for another successful year and to wish you peace, love, and joy in 2020. Now is the perfect time to fence row spray for weed control, rototilling for your winter gardens, and stump grinding. We are family-owned and operated, licensed and insured, and farm-ready. Powell Jean, Gene, @yahoo.com. 352-629-2440. Jean Powell, Past Chamoy. 352-629-2440. Jean is a proud United States veteran.
Each morning, we wake up thankful to live in a free nation with liberty and justice for all. But sometimes those liberties can be put in jeopardy, and you may have questions about what to do or who to call. Let Doc Blanchard of Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland help you find the answers. Attorneys at law since 1974 and located in downtown Ocala. If you have legal issues, don't go it alone. Call 352-732-7218. Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland, helping protect your liberties every day.
Have you been there yet? If not, please accept this invitation to the best of the best Camellia Show Spectacular going on at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala. Just a walk, a short stroll through this magnificent garden is all you need to experience thousands of camellias in bursting bloom. Of course, you can have your own budded and blooming Bob Wine's heirloom camellia for as little as $19.99, and larger sizes are available. Other Camellia Show bargain buys gorgeous blooming Calancho, just $4.99. Laura Petalum, 6 for just $35.99. Peach and nectarine fruit trees, 2 for $99.99. Citrus trees, buy one, get one at half price. Don't miss it now at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens on the uncrowded southeast side of Ocala. Daily till 4, Saturdays till 3 in the same blooming place since 1952.
You just have to say it's a happy day. The old ticker hasn't been clicking and your kicker hasn't been kicking, but the hospital you can now leave. To rehab you can now cleave. The folks at Palm Garden you got to meet, you can tell their services cannot be beat. Working with nursing and therapy all day, you're gonna get better the Palm Garden way. Find out what the Palm Garden way means to you by taking a tour. We're located on the corner of Southwest 27th Avenue and 34th Street.
Today will be partly sunny with a passing shower for the afternoon, high 73 to 78. Evening showers, otherwise mostly cloudy for tonight, low 58 to 62. For tomorrow, it will be partly sunny. Thursday's high 73 to 77. Then tomorrow night, clouds will increase with a low 57 to 60. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Kevin Snyder.
Your Ocala Quick Minute News. A series of strong earthquakes is shaking up the Caribbean and South Florida. A powerful 7.7 magnitude earthquake struck some 70 miles northwest of Jamaica yesterday afternoon and was felt as far as Miami. Mayor Francis Suarez says everything is okay.
No one has been reported hurt. There have been impacts of, felt in our buildings. No mandatory evacuations have occurred, and there is no tsunami warning.
There are also no reports of damage anywhere in South Florida. The Florida Senate is expected to take up a proposal today that would require parental consent before minors could have abortions. State Representative Anna Escamani of Orlando says that the bill is an attempt by pro-life lawmakers to get an abortion-related case in front of the new conservative majority on the state Supreme Court.
There does seem to be a hidden agenda by our Republican colleagues to test the courts with this type of abortion bill versus what they say the intent is, and that's empowering young people.
Abortion rights supporters rallied in the Capitol yesterday in opposition to the bill. Former NFL star Antonio Brown is no longer under house arrest in South Florida. A Broward County judge yesterday granted Brown's request to remove his ankle monitor. He is facing charges for an alleged assault on a moving company truck driver at his home in Hollywood, Florida. And there's your Ocala Quick Minute News. WOCA The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM.
Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the third Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. to Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion, and learn how they can help you.
Howdy, folks. RL here to tell you about Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen Silver Springs has been serving yummy foods and ice cream made fresh to order for 46 years. Their gift cards are perfect for those you love for any occasion. Our ice cream cakes are awesome. And as far as grilled foods, DQ does it right. From grilled chicken to our famous foot-long chili dogs. So come on down to Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
Keep up with what...
Yeah, we're back. You're listening to AM Ocala Live on WOCA Ocala. Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. We were just talking some public service announcements that are going on in the community. Oh my goodness, is it beautiful out there. Sun's starting to come up. We're broadcasting live here from the Paddock Mall here in Ocala. Come by, say hi. Love to see you. It's beautiful out here today. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And we got a caller. Yeah, good morning. You're on the air. Go ahead. Oh. Yep. Maybe not. Go ahead and try and call back. Had a caller there. We were going over some events that were happening in the community. One that I wanted to talk about when we come back was the Smiles at Heathbrook to host a free dentistry day on Friday, February 14th, with the opportunity for residents in the Ocala community and surrounding areas to have the opportunity to receive free dental services at Smiles at Heathbrook on Friday, February 14th. Dr. Hassan Abadi and Mitchell, Dr. Jacqueline Mitchell, and Dr. Sarah Saha, and the team at Smiles at Hillbrook will be providing oral health for the community for Free Dentist Day, which is something I'm looking. Free Dentist Day, a day dedicated to providing free dental care to the growing number of Americans without dental insurance. According to the U.S. Department of Health and Services, approximately 108 million Americans are living without dental insurance. I'm one of them. That's unfortunate. But you can talk to them about certain services that they have and everything like it. They, quote, say that they understand that many people in the community and across the nation haven't been to the dentist for a long, long time. Yeah, good morning. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing today, partner?
Pretty good. Hey, can we have a little more airport conversation?
Absolutely.
I observed when I was at the airport a while back that we have one big main runway that goes north to south or south to north. And I understand that at one time a 747 did land and take off on that runway because it was long enough. My question is, with a smaller aircraft, probably it involves larger aircraft too. When you take off in an airplane, you take off into the wind and you land with the wind. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yeah, and that whole idea there is that way you don't. If you land with a tailwind, you're going to be floating, pushed down the runway, so to speak. So yeah, we always try to do everything with a headwind. So, if anybody ever wonders in the idea of where the airplanes are at certain times, because I get a lot of comments in my other job about, oh, the airplane flew over our house this way this day, but then it didn't the next day, and we were expecting to see it take off. And it's all dependent and pertinent to the winds. So whichever the wind direction is, you can assume that that's which direction the airplanes will. So if we have a northerly wind, we'll be using runway what we call 36 to take off to the north. If the winds are more predominantly out of the south, we'll use runway 18.
So, in other words, at our airport, we have just one big main runway, right, that goes north to south?
We do. We actually do have another runway, which runs east-west, which is quite a bit smaller. It's only about 4,000 feet, and it's a little bit more narrow, and it's got a little undulation to it. So that one's pretty much there as pretty much like as a fail-safe if the winds are very, very predominantly east or west, and with not having to do a crosswind for the smaller airplanes, they can land there. But so we have the big main runway, which is about 7,000 feet.
Yeah, like a 727 or whatever, that size airplane, they wouldn't be able to use that smaller runway, so they're committed to the north-south runway. And if there was a strong east or west wind, would they still be able to take off because of the size and strength of the plane?
Oh, yeah. I'd say the heavier it is, the easier it is to land. Of course, crosswinds are always there to kind of deal with, but we don't have anything that would... Even if we had those windy days where we get gusts near 25 to 30 knots, it's still very... It's okay for the 727 to come in with those type crosswinds. But no, they have to use the main runway because they actually use just about every inch of it that they do with the north-south runway 1836. So it's unfortunate that they can't use the other one, but they have enough what they do with the north-south one.
What is the runway situation up in Gainesville now with all the commercial traffic? They must have not only a long north and south, but also a long east and west for those larger aircraft or smaller ones, right?
Well, with Gainesville, they've got a few runways. So they've got the two runways. They've got the basically it's 11. Well, 11 and 22, and then let me pull it up real quick. Give me just a second. Yeah, so with Gainesville, they have 11 and 29er. Oh, I was thinking 22, but they've got 11 and 29er, which is about their 7,000 foot runway, and then they have a smaller runway that's close to about 4,000. I think it's like 4,100, and that's runway 07 and 25. Which is a little bit more. So whenever they design airports, they always use the idea of how to build a runway is going to be more with like a more average or mean of what the directions of the winds are annually. So then that way it's a little bit more easy. But good question. And speaking...
I would imagine up there with the commercial traffic that tower is probably open 24 hours a day, right?
Oh, I think somebody mentioned that. Was it yesterday or the day before? Actually, no. It's only local open from, I believe, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. And then the Gainesville airport, I think, is open to 11. Yeah, the Gainesville one, I think, is only open to either 10 or 11. So it's not open 24 hours. I think the closest
so evidently
one...
they don't have any commercial flights at night up there, huh?
Not that late, I don't think so. Not anything past that time. Even if there's some delays, they would. It's not that big of a deal for them to come in, so to speak. But yeah.
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 Do they just have a pretty large terminal?
Over in Gainesville?
Yeah.
And we were just talking to them yesterday. They've got a nice size terminal that they're looking to now make some renovations to. They're adding 15,200 square feet more of an addition onto the terminal. We had them in the studio yesterday. Good question. They were talking about that the volume has increased in passenger travel for the Gainesville airport, so much so that they need to accommodate that. And with so, they're actually expanding the terminal a little bit. But with that, they're putting a little bit more towards the amenities, more towards what you can get to eat, and bathrooms, I think, is the other one that they were saying is more of what they're looking for as far as that space that they're looking to add the addition in, is to get more amenities to be able to logistically operate with that many people within their terminal. But like we say with Gainesville, being one of our sponsors, fly easy is their mantra. That it's the idea that instead of going to Orlando or Tampa, it's a shorter drive and it's less headache. And now with the TSA pre-check, you can get in and out of there and still fly to some of these bigger connection hubs where you can basically get into. I think they opened up Dallas-Fort Worth, and those are bigger hubs where you're going to be on a connecting flight anyway, but now you're going to places that connect for more flights, and gives you more opportunity. Yeah.
I work from the Milwaukee area, and of course my wife flies up quite a bit more than I do, but we always go to Orlando because we can always get direct flights right to Milwaukee, which is very convenient, rather than going to Atlanta or some other place, but that's kind of one of the things that hold you back a little bit with the Gainesville airport, is the fact that you're always going to end up at Atlanta or some other airport to change planes, but in the future, maybe if they have some direct flights to certain areas, that would be quite a nice thing. But right now it's not that. And I've done a lot of flying, commercial flying in my life, and so has my wife. And I know with the weather conditions and air traffic nowadays, if you can possibly give a direct flight, because if you have to stop somewhere else, you get involved in all kind of weather wherever it is in this country, and before you know it, you're sitting at an airport for many hours, and sometimes even overnight to get out of where you want to go. So it's always nice to go direct.
Right. Now, with that, I was going to say they're offering now nonstop flights to 4 major international hubs, which is good, which is Atlanta, Charlotte, Dallas-Fort Worth, and Miami. And you were talking about Milwaukee. It's when you're looking for it overall, the direct flight to somewhere that far up north, and most of the people that I know that fly still connect because it's usually cheaper that way. When you look at, if you try to do one way, you're trying to fill one airplane with that many seats, those many bodies, so then you're trying to only have so many scheduled flights that are nonstop. But nonetheless, Atlanta and Charlotte and Dallas, those are big connecting areas, so usually if there's somewhere you need to go far up north, it's only one connection.
We have it in the past. My wife's pretty good at this, at getting a deal on prices and that. And a few times in the past, we had thought about going up to Gainesville, but we noticed that even if you stop at Atlanta or wherever it is, the prices are quite a bit higher flying out of into Gainesville rather than Orlando or Tampa.
Well, in regards to that, it's more or less because you're looking at. And that's what we were talking about a little bit yesterday, was like when you're looking at more of the budget type airlines like your Allegiant, Spirit, what you see as far as the ticket price is cheaper. But what you don't see is the added baggage fees and all the other amenities that you have to pay for, because those are the low-cost airfares. So it may seem like that, but overall, when they broke down, they had a price sheet, which was really interesting. It was as if they had put everything into the idea of what goes into the cost if you're going to go to Orlando and Tampa, when it comes to the parking, when it comes to some of the amenities, when it comes to even ticket prices and baggage fees and all that. They actually found out that when it's all said and done, on average, you're actually cheaper to fly the regionals out of Gainesville than you would on some of the bigger majors out of Orlando and Tampa, which was interesting. I think Aaron was talking about, Porter was talking about some figures that they had calculated within the last year, that there's a big percent difference in the overall expenditures that you would do flying out of Gainesville than you would out of Orlando and Tampa, which is interesting.
Yeah, my dad retired down here in Florida in 1970, and of course I was still working. I had many years out to go up north yet, and we always flew into Orlando. And going back in the 70s and 80s, it was always a wonderful airport, but that airport has increased, and I guess they're building another section, a terminal section on there. But I heard the fact that the other day, last year, they had 40 million people go through that airport, which is amazing, And that airport has really, really grown, and it's unbelievable from when it used to be back in the 70s and 80s to what it is now. It's something else. It's something that really, it's amazing,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is. And that's one of the things that I think was mentioned here in one of the news blocks that I didn't pull up or record, but it was mentioning that, that MCO, or what is Orlando International Airport, is the biggest airport in the country, or something like that, to a USA Today study or something to that extent, because of the amount of volume that is coming in and out of there. It's almost like, in a way, you're comparing it to, say, Atlanta with Atlanta Hartsfield, but Atlanta Hartsfield, it is the biggest, period. But as far as the biggest for what you're trying to do for the logistics, they've organized Orlando pretty good. I still...
looking back, I always think about, at one time they were looking in the Ocala area for Disney World. And if that would have ever come true, could you imagine what this area would be like right now? And our airport would be like an Orlando airport right now. It would be an entirely different thing. But, of course, we all know where Disney World ended up. But they, at one time, were thinking about coming in. They looked into this area here.
That's what I heard. I heard rumor of that they actually did. That in a bizarro world, that Disney World could actually be where we're at right now. I would be broadcasting live, WOCA Ocala, the source, from Disney World right now. Here we go.
But just imagine what our airport would have looked like right now if that would have happened. That would have been something unbelievable.
Oh, it would have. Yeah, it would have. And it's interesting, too. We're going to have, make sure you listen, for all listeners out there, tune in around 9 o'clock. We're going to have in... Brad and Dan in from the Ocala airport, from the Ocala Aviation Flight School. We're going to be talking about some of the stuff that's going on out at the airport and some of the changes the schools that themselves are going to be making in lieu of the new FBO terminal and the ramp space and just what's going on. Man, there's just so much going on in Ocala right now. It's incredible. Somebody asked me the other day, they said... When I get, because I'm working on getting what's necessary for me to move on to a bigger flying job and everything, so to speak, and they said, well, when you do you plan on moving back to maybe where you're originally from? Because I'm originally from Northeast Ohio, or do I plan on moving back to Pensacola? And I told them that I need to stay in Ocala for a couple years. I want to see what happens to this town when they finish the Equestrian Center, when we have this spring's opening of the Holiday Garden Inn in downtown Ocala. Now that they've opened up the Bank Street patio bar there on the corner, I want to see what the square is going to be like. I want to see what the airport's going to be like. Not only that, I also want to see what the rest of 200 is going to become. State Route 200, as it's building itself now as the majority of the retirement community stuff that's getting developed in southwest Ocala, there's a lot going on in itself down that road that it'd be interesting to just see, because I think we got a Starbucks now down there on 200. I think they're going to put another car wash down there on 200. And it's interesting what other restaurants and stuff will go in there now that there's a market for it.
Yeah. Well, we've lived here 25 years, and boy, I've seen a big change. 25 years ago, they didn't even have bus service in this city, and the population was, I think Ocala was around 40,000, which is, I think it's pushing 60 right now, I believe. But it's just amazing, with what's happened to this city in the last 20, 25 years that we've been here. It really has grown and grown, and it's just beginning to really grow. And this is going to be a big place someday.
Exactly. And just think, like 10 years ago, it was the biggest thing was, wow, we've got a Walmart. Wow, we've got 2 of them. Yeah. And now look what we're doing. Now look what's going on. And not only that, too, just a shout out to our friends there at Justice League Estate Sale. One of the things they came on the air and talked about yesterday was their incredible idea here to bring in now the Justice League flea market to get this going, which is incredible. The idea of now having something more to do like that's open air concept, that's a place where you can shop, that you can see some of the history be sold with some of these vendors and the things that within the community, the people in the community have to offer and sell that they're putting together. And the stuff they do is great nonetheless, that, they're nonprofit, that the proceeds that they work for with their estate sales and everything, and what it does to go back into the community, what they offer the community, what they make from the community that gets offered right back to the community is incredible stuff. So when you think about what you'll be able to do in Ocala, when you come in to just see horses, or when you come in to just auction on horses, there's so much more to do. You get in through the airport, you go from there, you go see some equestrian. After that, you go for the nightlife downtown. You may even stay in the Holiday Inn there, and the idea of the food concepts and they have and everything like that is incredible. It's just phenomenal what's going on so far. And hey, that's the sign of a good economy, right?
Right. Exactly, right. And let's not forget about that wonderful little racetrack we have that I enjoy quite a bit. And we also have probably one of the last drive-in movie theaters that's still operating.
Yeah, that's right.
There's a lot of other things here.
That's right, the drive-in movie theater. I think we were talking about that with Galen. Was it last week or maybe the beginning of the week or something? To the extent he was pretty much saying, who goes there? Hey, there's people who do, because it's still open, baby. Yeah. So somebody's coming. It's that little nostalgia stuff that you want to have around.
Okay. Well, it was very nice talking to you. I'm looking forward to the program at 9 o'clock. That'll be very interesting. And thanks for taking all this time to talk to me. And I enjoy you and WOCA, and hope to be talking to you guys in the future.
You got it, partner. You have a good rest of the day. Enjoy the rest of the week.
Thank you very much. Bye.
You got it. Yeah, thank you, caller there. So, just with so much that's going on within the community, that's the stuff I like to talk about. That's the stuff we do talk about, with the idea of what we have with sponsors that come in here and talk. When we're talking Justice League estate sales, when I mentioned the Holiday Garden Inn, how they decided to partner with our friends at Career Source to put together opportunities to get people within our community to go through Career Source for an opportunity to be part of what's going on there, to work, to make money, to be part of what's going to be going on in the community that is going to make the community money, and being part of that, and then working with Career Source to say, hey, there's good people in Ocala, good people that have a good work ethic that are willing to work, and through Career Source, that's one of our sponsors, one of our friends, and that's a sign right there that the community is growing, and I'm happy to be a part of it. I don't know. It's incredible. But anyway, we're coming to the top of the hour here, and that was nice. If anybody else wants to call in, we're going to have Galen here at the top of the hour, but at 8:35 we'll be doing our news bits, and within that time I'd love to hear from some of the other callers, there about what's going on within the community, about news that you guys have, or any questions that you'd like to have answered to the best of my ability, and stuff like that. But we're going to take a little break, and when we come back, we'll be talking to Galen, Life South. We'll go from there. You're listening to 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. AM Ocala Live. Broadcasting live from the Paddock Mall. Come say hi. We'll be back after this.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. 201 Americans evacuated from Wuhan, China are on a flight to a military base in California where they'll be quarantined and rescreened for a virus that's killed more than 130 people. The plane stopped to refuel in Alaska, and the state's chief medical officer, Dr. Ann Zink, says,
I don't believe that this flight puts us in any significant increased risk. Otherwise, we wouldn't have allowed it to land, or we would have worked with our federal partners in a different way.
The plane was chartered by the State Department. Today, at President Trump's impeachment trial in the Senate.
After 6 days of listening to opening presentations from House managers and the president's legal team, senators will begin to play a larger role today, given up to 16 hours to ask questions of each side. Republican and Democratic senators will alternate asking questions, each one written by the senators, but read by Chief Justice John Roberts.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the Capitol. Friday, a vote's expected on whether to hear from new witnesses. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, Greg, I'm so sorry to hear about your brother's heart attack.
Thanks. He's okay now, but it really got me thinking about my family. You know, could my wife still pay our mortgage if I had a heart problem? Or could my kids still go to college?
Man, that is really scary. Yeah, you should call my life insurance agent at Health IQ. When I got life insurance for my family last year, they saved me 41% versus any other company I looked at.
41%? That's huge.
Yep. Health IQ starts by shopping everyone with the top 30 life insurance carriers to make sure they can get the lowest retail rate. Then they apply their exclusive healthy lifestyle savings, which can save you up to 41%. I literally got $1 million in coverage for my family for just $36 a month.
Just $36 a month?
Yep. You should check it out at healthiq.com/easy.
To save that much money, I'm going to call them right now. What's that link again?